Hello all, Scott from MSN Adventures here. I just wanted to do a quick video to talk about one of my favorite planes. This plane has been awesome. When I got back into the hobby just early last year, it was over the winter 2017, and I did a little bit of research, and this is the Horizon Hobbies Timber short takeoff and landing airplane. High wing, big tires that I love so much, articulated landing gear. This thing handles just about anything you throw at it. It's pretty awesome. It's all foam. I think it took me about a half hour to put together. They say about an hour, half hour to an hour. The lighting on it is awesome. This is one that I definitely want to put a camera on and show you some video from this spring. But it's got awesome lights. It's got the nav lights. You can see it's got really bright LED headlights. This kit comes just ready to fly. Not ready to fly, ready to, it's bind and fly is what they say. Bind and fly. So if you've got a Spectrum transmitter, you just bind your radio to it and take off. It's got the AS3X that you can have on. It actually helps to stabilize the plane. But still does some mild aerobatics very well. Loops and rolls and stall turns. Really well. You can see I just put a little extra coincidence. I've got a Flight Test t-shirt and a Flight Test sticker on my plane, but just to make a little bit more color up top for visibility. Getting back into it, the hobby after being out of it for about 10 years, I didn't know how rusty I was going to be. But this thing is a great kind of combination trainer and something that you can grow into. Again, with the AS3X, it's a very stable flyer. It takes off in about a couple of feet, depending on whether you've got the flaps up or down. Yes, it does have flaps. That's awesome. So let me show you. I've got a couple of rates set up with the takeoff flaps. Takeoff flaps there. Landing flaps. You can use them for either or. Just creates a lot of lift and a lot of drag. But it makes it come in really nice and soft. You've got the battery compartment is under the nose, so you just flip it over. I'd say that's the only thing that's a little bit annoying about it, but it really doesn't bother me at all. So you've got all the servos are installed, flaps ready to go. Give you another shot of the underwing there. And getting a little bit of servo flutter for the first time, but I've had hundreds of flights on this plane. It really has been great. Let me give you another shot of that landing gear too. And the white up top you can see, but this gear really, is very springy. But a lot of the sometimes you get a little bit of the jitter with the servos just from the AS3X kind of kicking in or going a little crazy while you're messing around with it on the bench. But just a really great gentle flying plane. That's what I'm going to continue to train Meadow on. I did a little buddy boxing with Meadow last year, so hopefully we'll get some videos of that this spring too. Just a great all-around flyer. Very gentle. Rolls very nice. It's a slow roll rate because it's such a long wingspan. But it's just a great plane, and I can get you a little bit more of the specs. But I think it's over 60-inch wingspan, 45-ish inches long, so definitely a bigger wingspan than fuselage. But it's got enough power. Runs on a 3-cell. I've got a 3-cell 2200s that I run with it. It's a pretty standard battery, and it works great. Again, it's got enough power to do what it needs to do. It's not going to be a super fast race plane by any means. But it does exactly what it says. It's a short takeoff and landing, so it'll take off in a couple of feet, especially with the flaps full down, full power. It almost just lifts straight off the ground. It's amazing. And it's fun to do short takeoff and landing competitions. You can we set a Frisbee out on the runway and try to hit it, or you can do a line on the ground and see who can do it the best, get the closest. So it's fun. It's just a fun little airplane. Very forgiving. It almost spoils you because it's so forgiving, because just very landings are just really easy to practice. I do touch and goes all day long. So it's a lot of fun. It's like I say, one I highly recommend. And one of the things that I kind of measure an airplane in my fleet by is, if I crash it tomorrow, will I buy another one? And the answer is absolutely. This one is one that I plan to always have. You know, something like this, or this exact plane in my fleet. I think it'll be a good plane to pass on to Meadow, and for her to learn to fly on it and to enjoy. And I think it's just you know, it's something I would recommend as a trainer, because it's so easy to fly, yet it's so much more than a trainer. So just a great bang for the buck. I think they're about $250. Like I say, bind and fly. But again, it's just great that, you know, it's so easy to build, plug in, just so much better than when I was in the hobby, you know, 10, 15 years ago. This kind of stuff just was not nearly as good as it is today. Really just not as available, and just the technology is amazing. Now you'll notice these little plastic things up here, the little plugs. It does come with slats, and they're supposed to help the short takeoff and landing ability even more. The downside is that I've heard a lot of negative things about it, so I did not put them on mine, and I'm glad I didn't, because they actually glue in, and it's a pain to get them back off. But it really affects the aerobatics. You know, the roll rate's slow enough as it is. You don't want to make it any, you know, I still want to do some mild aerobatics with it, and I hear with the slats, it really just isn't an option. And I have not found any need for it. There's no reason. The takeoff and landings are so short with this plane, even as is. I would definitely strongly urge you to not put the slats on, at least until you figure out if you really want them or not. Because I am very glad that I didn't, and everything I've heard still to this day says don't use the slats, it messes up the plane. So almost wish they wouldn't include it, because it seems like it's given the timber a little bit of a bad name on occasion. But the people who I've talked to that have it, don't have the slats on it, they love it. The great thing about this plane also makes it such a great bang for the buck that I want to do a little more practice with this year, is it comes with a set of floats. So you can actually install floats on it. It actually couples to the rudder. The floats have rudders on them. They look like a really nice kit, well done set of floats as well. So I'm really looking forward to doing a little bit of float plane flying. That'd be a first experience with that. It's something I've always wanted to do, but I think it's great. You know, I think be able to find a nice calm pond or lake and fly off of. I know a guy at the club has been doing some of that last summer and really enjoying it. So I'm looking forward to it. I've just got my DX6 over here that I've got with all my planes. We'll put the flaps back up. But you can see, you know, the ailerons are fairly small for such a big wing. So it's not going to roll super fast, but that's what makes it so forgiving and so easy to fly. So, but enough rudder and elevator throw, but nothing too crazy. Do a quick little run up here. Make sure my throttle holds off. Don't blow everything off my desk, but you get the idea. Put the throttle cut back on. Got a loose switch that I need to tighten up. And so thank you so much again for watching, and I hope this helps make anybody's decision. Say if you want more detailed specs, I know you can go to Horizon Hobby. I can put them in the links below. If anybody has any comments or questions, please let me know. Like I say, I've flown this one extensively, and I highly recommend it. But if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask, because I feel like kind of the timber spokesperson lately. But you know, really enjoy it. Really easy to fly. Great little plane. And if you have any questions, please ask. Please like and subscribe if you like what we're doing here, and hit that notification button. And I appreciate your time, and I appreciate you spending your time with us, and I hope to see you flying a timber out at the field. So please, again, if you have any questions, just let me know. Hope you have a great day. Appreciate each and every one of you, and we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.